Hi guys, ArchieLuxury. Go to f2bbs.com. www.f2bbs.com. The last bastion of free speech on the interweb.
Hey guys, ArchieLuxury, Paul Pluta channel guys. Today I want to talk about what am I thinking about doing with my collection. And I got to tell you, it's been a bit tumultuous. I had a hard week. I actually sold off my paddock 6006. I didn't see that coming. But I got to tell you, I have cleared a lot of credit card debt. I have money for a plexi. So I want to talk about my collection. What do I want to do and where do I think it's going? So firstly, let's get the Patek issue worked out. How many Patek Philippe's, how many do I want to sell anymore? And that's an interesting thing. You know, sometimes in life, we never really know what's going to happen. I would say, would I sell another Patek? Sure, I would. But I don't really want to sell them. I don't want to sell all of them. I'd like to keep a few. And I got to be totally honest with you. I look at the collection and I say, well, the one that I really love the most would be the 5110, the World Time. That's a gorgeous piece. Absolutely adore that one. It's in yellow, which is it's a really cool metal. And I kind of think that's a piece that you can't really easily replace. I think that's one there's special. It was a grail. I remember swimming in the pool in Pattaya. And I thought, you know, that's a super cool piece to have there. 5110. And I got to tell you, I think 5110 is a super piece. Another piece that I really do like is my annual calendar. So the annual calendar, I bought that originally when I was turning 40. Just before I was turning 40, I got that. And you know the story, I basically sold it off. I needed the money at the time. And it's just like anything, you know, sometimes, yeah, you need the money. You want to use it for something else. So I sold it, and then I managed to buy it back. And then I've serviced it, and, you know, that's just a great piece. So then, you know, so you look at my collection and I've got two Pateks, World Time and an annual calendar. That's two great complications. And you say, right, you'd really want to have a Calatrava. So do you want a manual wind, 5196, or the 5127? So I got one of each. Would I sell one of them? Possibly. I don't have to sell one of them, but I think at the moment, I've put a few feelers out for the 5196, see if I could get a bite on that. But you know, it's proving. I do love that watch. I think it's a beautiful watch. But let's just pull back a bit on that. I don't mind holding on that. So I've got 4 Pateks, and I'd possibly sell one. Would I sell 2? Ooh. I'd like to keep a couple. I'd like to keep 2 Pateks, if not 3. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. Then the other piece that I really do like is the Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso, the Grand 8. What a cool piece. Just a very cool piece. And I'd like to keep that. I think that's a great piece to have. It's just a beautiful. I love the Reverso Grand 8 size. I remember seeing that originally, and I offered the guy more money than he'd paid for it. And he rang me the next day, and the rest we know is history. Again, I got that for my 40th as well. So that's a very cool piece. What do I think now? Now that's a good question. What do I think? Indeed. So I'd want to keep, in my Pateks, I'd want to keep three paddocks, 3 if not 4. I would say that I would really want to, I would say I'd want to keep the Reverso Grand Date. I'd say I'd also want to I'd say Reverso's a very cool thing. I'd say my 3 or 4 paddocks I'd like to keep, and then the Rolex. Well, man, I've got the perfect 3-piece combo collection. 3 pieces. What have I got there? I've got a sub-date, steel sub-date. Perfect. That's your diver. Then I've got I'm wearing it today. What am I wearing today? My Explorer 2. Explorer 2. Absolutely beautiful. And then as a wind and wear, I got a Z Blue Milgauss. What do I want to add? What do I feel I want to add to this collection here? Now that's a good question. What do I want to add? You know, I've got money holding for a Pepsi. I've got a MJT saying he could get me a Pepsi. I'd love to get a Pepsi. Pepsi's beautiful. Then the only thing box to tick off would be some sort of chronograph. Do I want a Daytona? A Rolex Daytona? Look, I didn't enjoy the screw down pushers. I think I'd rather get well, an Omega's certainly cheaper. A Speedy. I'd like to get a Speedy. I think a Speedy would be really, really cool. So that's what my thinking is. Maybe a Speedy. Yep, a Speedy. I think a Speedy could be a really cool way to go. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. A Speedy, maybe. But, you know, it doesn't have to be a Speedy. I'd also be happy with a Zenith, El Primero, or even a Bregster, another Bregster, Type 20. Yeah, so that's kind of the way the collection is sort of going there. So what do I prefer to do? I'll just enjoy what I got at the moment. Tap into that. That's a cool way to go. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at the moment there. It's sort of it's a different mode. It's a different way of looking at things. And I got to be honest with you. You've got to enjoy your watches. Have time out, contemplate, think about it, enjoy your watches, and try and stay away from unsellable garbage. That's the advice I would give you. Try and stay away from unpopular garbage. Okay guys, I'm ArchieLuxury, and I will see you in the next one. See you later, guys.
Hi guys, ArchieLuxury, and who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David SW, David SW, David SW. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David SW, David SW, David SW.
Hey guys, ArchieLuxury. Who do I recommend for watches in Brisbane and Sydney? Vintage Watch Co. That's correct. Vintage Watch Co. in Brisbane Arcade in Brisbane and the Strand Arcade in Sydney. Vintage Watch Co. Brisbane and Sydney. Ronnie, I've known him since the late 90s. Ronnie is a top bloke. Luke is a great guy. Vintage Watch Co. That is who I recommend in Australia. Check out Vintage Watch Co. and the guys' amazing range of watches. They also do service and repairs. Vintage Watch Co. That is where the pontiff goes. You know, some of my paddocks came from Vintage Watch Co. That's right, guys. Vintage Watch Co.